Also, we should Timmers here. Since of course Zoe Saldana, who is nearly Oscar-winning Zoe Saldana, by the way, since she is also in the new animated Pixar film Elio, and since she's also my birthday twin today, because her and I, it's both Zoe Saldana's and my birthday today, I decided to go ahead and do my top 10 favorite Zoe Saldana movies. I've had a crush on Zoe Saldana for years. I've always adored her. She's pretty much one of the few actresses who has been in like billion dollar hits from the Marvel's films to Avatar and all. Obviously, Avatar 3 comes out this year. So, with that said, here are my official top 10 favorite Zoe Saldana movies. Alright, number 10, this is going to be unpopular to say, but I don't care what you say is the unpopular thing or not. And of course, she just won her Oscar for this. Number 10 is Emil Perez. I know it got so much controversy throughout, this past year and all. I don't care what people says. I know it was still a remarkable film. Of course, Zoe Saldana plays a character named Jesse, who is this driven lawyer working for a drug cartel who's like recruited to help his boss undergo gender information surgery and escape the criminal life. And of course, she becomes like the confidant of Emil Perez, the former, cartel kingpin. It was still a really good one. Great, really good music. The song Elma, I'm sorry. I'm glad that won Best Original Song. It was a really good song there. Some of the other songs are pretty good. The cinematography is good. And of course, got nominated for like about 13 nominations, if I'm not mistaken. Was it 13? It was one of the most awarded nominations this year. Of course, Selena Gomez was so good in this. She is like, even though I still really wanted Ariana Grande to win for Wicked, I had no complaints about Zoe Saldana winning because she was so amazing. Alright. Number 9 is the Adam Project. Now, of course, she plays like the love interest of Adam Reed, played by Ryan Reynolds, and is trapped in the past and presumed dead. She becomes like the instrumental in covering a time manipulation conspiracy here. Of course, you had Walker Scobell, who plays like the young Ryan Reynolds, and of course, Ryan Reynolds plays like the older, the older version of Walker Scobell. The chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Zoe Saldana was so amazing. They really play off each other very well. Of course, you had like Jennifer Garner, Mark Ruffalo. The Adam Project, of course, was directed by Sean Levy, who recently put out Deadpool Wolverine. The Adam Project is still an amazing one. Really fun, really entertaining. Such a good flick. Alright. Number 8 is Takers. Now, of course, Takers is like, it's a girlfriend to Idris Elba's character, Gordon Jennings, and part of the luxurious world of the Takers inhabited. And it's a really decent, stylish, entertaining action film. Of course, if you guys don't know much about Takers, it had a really good cast that included the likes of, Chris Brown, Micah Ealy, Paul Walker, Matt Dillon, T.I., Hayden Christensen, and of course follows like a group of professional bank robbers who specializes in in robberies, and they are put into a job by a recently paroled Korat, played by T.I., only to be pitted against a hard-boiled detective, played by Dylan, and his partner, played by Jay Hernandez. Takers, it's a very underrated little action film here, but it was really definitely was an interesting one to say the least. Zoe Saldana had really good chemistry with Idris Elba. Oh, also at the same year, she also did The Losers with him as well, so there's that. But yeah, Takers is a really good one, worth giving a go. Alright. Number 7 is Death at a Funeral. Now, of course, Death at a Funeral was a remake of the British film of the same name. Death at a Funeral is a really hilarious one. Of course, of course, it is actually a remake of the 2007 film, and it's about people who come together for like a funeral here. And Zoe Saldana plays like the love interest to James Marsden's character, and yeah, her scenes in this really cracked me up. Um, and so yeah, it's definitely a really funny one here. Of course, she played like not the girlfriend, but the fiance, if you will. And she is like caught in the middle of various comedic disasters, including her fiance mistakenly taking hallucination drugs here. And yeah, like the scene where, of course, James Marsden goes, butt naked, sort of always cracked me up here. Uh, it's a really decent remake, in my opinion. You had Chris Rock, Martin Lawrence, Danny Glover, Peter Dinklage. I really quite enjoyed this more than most people did, but all right. Coming in at number 6 is Center Stage. Now, Center Stage was, of course, a pretty much like her acting debut, if you will. And the film, like, is about a group of ballet dancers who like a role at a fictitious American ballet school in New York. You had Amanda Scull, who, of course, will go on to star in that 12 Monkey series. And you had to really, like, Zoe Saldana was great in this. Uh, of course, like she plays like this streetwise ballet dancer with raw talent, and her dance like again, this was actually her acting debut. She will also go on to follow this up with like Crossroads with Britney Spears. Who remembers Crossroads? I actually like Crossroads, by the way. That's actually a little bit of a guilty pleasure of mine. But still, Center Stage definitely is a really decent dance film. Really heartfelt. It is a really decent film worth giving a go. All right, number 5 is Colombiana. Of course, it is about like a Colombian woman who becomes a hit woman to avenge her parents' murder by a drug cartel. And this movie, of course, I guess to say was really the action movie that really put Zoe more on the map for most people as an action hero. And Zoe Saldana is awesome in this. She is so fierce. You also had Hunger Games actress and the Acolyte actress Amanda Stenberg playing like the young Zoe Saldana in this. And the movie really showcased her physically, emotional intensity, and of course in action, leading like action shots. Colombiana is a really good one if you guys haven't seen it. Very underrated too. Where is the sequel to this? Beyond me, but alright. Number 4, I'm actually just gonna instead of just picking one, I'm just gonna put all three in one film. And that is the Star Trek movies. Now, of course, here she plays the character of Aurora, and of course, like she honors like Nichelle Nix's legacy with this character, and Zoe Saldana is amazing as Aurora. Really embodies this character perfectly. She of course is the communication officer aboard the USS Enterprise. She really does such a great job as the Aurora character. Of course, she was great in all 3 films. Again, I'm just adding all 3 movies in one because all 3 are actually really good, in my opinion. And I think probably Into Darkness is the best one out of the bunch. But hey, Star Trek is still an excellent one, in my opinion, and well worth a watch. Or the Star Trek movies are. When we're gonna get another one is Beyond Me, but yeah. Alright, number 3. Again, instead of just putting just one and 2 film here, I'm just gonna put them in one. Number 3 is Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame. Now, of course, in Infinity War, Gamora plays the emotional role of Thanos' sacrifice to obtain the Soul Stone. And in Endgame, she, of course, comes back as the 2014 version of Gamora to the present. I really quite liked her her of course, moments of that where, of course, she doesn't remember, nobody like Peter Quill and stuff. And of course, like seeing her in the battle scene is really fun to check out. And so, yeah, I mean, she really plays Gamora perfectly. You know, Obviously, again, she got killed in Infinity War, but then got brought back in the in Endgame to the end battle. It was great. And obviously, we'll go ahead and see her again. If you who knows if we're ever gonna see her back in the MCU again, but we'll see. Alright. Number 2 is the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Of course, again, she is the adopted daughter of Thanos and is a trained assassin here, and she seeks like redemption for her violent past by joining the Guardians. And in Volume 3, she is like the time displaced version who never experienced her original teen's bond. And she doesn't. And leads up to an emotional tension with Star-Lord because obviously she doesn't know who they are and stuff. And Star-Lord's trying to get her memory back and all. I still quite enjoy Part 3, but I will say maybe the first one is the best out of the bunch. All three movies are great. They're just still entertaining. It's such a really good one, in my opinion. Like, I just adore these films. And the best Zoe Saldana movie is, of course, Avatar. Now, I should say Avatar on Way of Water as well, but I'm actually just going to go with the first film. Now, of course, we do got Part 3 coming out, Part 4, and Part 5, whatever. The very first Avatar movie is excellent. Great visuals, something you've never really seen before. It was pretty much, came out at perfect timing here. James Cameron been trying to get this thing off the ground, for decades. He was, this was even his first film he did, since Titanic came out, became $1 billion hit. I remember I watched this one as a kid, during my, I wasn't a kid, but during my senior year in high school, and I was blown away how great the visuals was, how amazing this thing looked. The world Pandora just looked beautiful. Of course, it did got a couple of Oscar nominations. It won few. It's just a great one, and Way of Water is good too, but I admit the first one is still better in my opinion. But that's just me. But that is pretty much it there. Here is, of course, my quick rundown. Number 10, Emil Perez. 9, The Adam Project. 8, Takers. 7, Death at a Funeral. 6, Center Stage. 5, Columbiana. 4, the Star Trek films. 3, Avatar Infinity War / Endgame. 2, Guardians of the Galaxy. And number 1 is Avatar. Now, there's loads of other Zoe Saldana movies I could have added too. Let me pull some other films. I actually really quite enjoyed, the aforementioned Crossroads. Crossroads is a little bit more of a guilty pleasure of mine. Drumline with Nick Cannon. She was in the first Pirates movie. Guess Who? Dirty Deeds. The Heart Specialist, Vantage Point, who remembers that one? Missing Link. Let's see. Nina, definitely not Amsterdam. Vivo. She's been some really good stuff over the years. Really happy see her finally get her due as winning an Oscar for Emil Perez. Well deserved there. Obviously, her next project after Elio is the next Avatar movie, Fire and Ash. Fingers crossed we get a trailer next month, but we'll see. Anyway, let me ask you guys, what are some of your favorite Zoe Saldana films? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Emil Saldana.